Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Sports Blitz here. Welcome to my first NFL mock draft for the 2022 draft. This is the first one that I have done this season. Now, before I get into this, just a quick disclaimer. There's still a lot of film I need to watch on a lot of prospects, okay? I will say I'm not super knowledgeable on the wide receivers in this class. So keep that in mind if you have a team that's wide receiver needy. If I pick the wrong guy, really a player that you don't want, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to see what you guys want your team to draft. But make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into it. So right now, the Lions have the number 1 overall pick, and I don't really see that changing. I will say I still think Kayvon Thibodeaux is the best prospect in this draft. I think he's one of the best edge prospects we've seen in a while. He's comparable really to Chase Young, to be honest. I remember thinking Chase Young was one of the best prospects I've ever seen as well. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux could really be that good as well. Aiden Hutchinson also really had a really good game, though, against, I believe it was Ohio State. Sorry, my mistake. But he had 15 pressures and 3 sacks, so I don't want to discredit him at all. But I do think Kayvon Thibodeaux is the better option, so I'm going to go ahead and have him go to the Lions. Now, for the Texans, this could change a lot depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson. Now, if he gets his cases figured out, who knows? He might end up being okay with playing for the Texans again. I don't really see that happening. But, the Texans could trade Deshaun Watson, get a couple extra first-round picks. But either way, I think they'll really be looking to replace their quarterback. And I think they'll go ahead and do so with Matt Corral. Now, I will say, I'm not a fan of this quarterback class, okay? There's some guys with potential, like Malik Willis. I really like his potential. I just don't think he's anywhere near ready right now. Matt Corral, I think, is the most ready quarterback here, and really the only guy that I would currently put a first-round grade on, like a true first-round quarterback. But again, there's a couple quarterbacks that at least have some potential. But then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, there is a few different ways we could go here. Aiden Hutchinson really wouldn't be a bad pick just because of how talented he is. But I really don't think the Jags need edge as much as we think. Josh Allen, I still think is really, really good. They also have K'Lavon Chaisson, who I think can still grow into a really solid player for them. And I feel like they just have other bigger needs. I feel like they could really use some help at safety. They could also go with Evan Neal right here. I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Hamilton right here. Then we have the Jets with back-to-back picks. Now, the Jets could use a lot of help on defense. Now, this says that they have a big need at edge. I would probably disagree, to be honest. They've got Carl Lawson, and really their edges aren't really all that bad. Now, granted, if you add Aiden Hutchinson in there, they're gonna get that much better regardless. But honestly, I feel like they need more help in their secondary. I feel like teams are able to pass on them too much. So I'm going to go ahead and actually have them take Derek Stingley. But with their next pick, there's a few guys I could go with here as well. Aiden Hutchinson's too talented to pass on. Okay, he's too talented. I'm gonna have him take him. Now the Giants also have back-to-back picks. Interesting picks here. They still have a big pass rushing issue despite drafting Azeez Ojulari in last year's draft. He has looked pretty solid, but their pass rush is nowhere near what it should be. So I'm gonna go ahead and with the first pick they have, I don't think it really matters which order you get them in, to be honest. I'm gonna take George Karlaftis. I think he's the third best edge in this draft, and that's saying something because this draft is so deep in edge. There's so many talented edge rushers. But with their next pick, now I will say I don't think Daniel Jones is really going to be that guy for them. I haven't had confidence in him since 2019. I think his rookie year was his best year, to be honest. But Matt Corral is gone, and like I said, he's the only quarterback I had a first-round grade on. So obviously the Giants can't take him. I think they're going to try to fix their offensive line, and they will go ahead and do so with Evan Neal, the tackle from Alabama. Now, I will say a few things here. I've had a pretty solid record for predicting how offensive linemen will do. I wasn't a big fan of Andrew Thomas coming out of the draft. I remember so many people had Andrew Thomas as their number one offensive tackle. I personally had Mekhi Becton. He's been really good. And then I believe I had Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs kind of as my 2A and 2B right there. I thought they were both really, really good. And then I had Andrew Thomas as number 4 as far as tackles go that year. So I've got a pretty solid track record for tackles. I think Evan Neal is the best pure tackle in this draft. So I think they finally get their... Really, you could put him at left tackle or right tackle. I think he'll be great at either spot. So if you want to be your franchise left tackle, go for it. Franchise right tackle, that'll work too. It's a great pick for the Giants. Then we have Washington. Now I'll be honest, at this point, I feel like Washington should honestly at least consider trading out of this pick. Now we don't have the premium version for this draft simulator, so we're not doing trades here. But at this point, I would probably have them take Ikem Ekwonu, or as his nickname is, Icky. Now, I will be completely honest here. I'm not a big fan of Icky as a pure, left tackle. I like him a lot at guard. I think at the NFL level, he could be an absolute elite guard, and I'm talking Quentin Nilsson level type of guard. I really, truly believe that. But I don't think he would really be that great as a left tackle. I feel like he'd struggle against some of the speedier rushers, and I don't really see him as a good tackle. So yeah, going to the Eagles, they also have back-to-back picks. So with the Eagles, there's a few different directions we could go here. I think to start, I think they really want to fix their linebacking core. I'm not a really big fan of their linebackers right now. So, let me go linebackers right here. And yeah, Devin Lloyd out of Utah. I'm a big fan of him. I will be honest, I need to watch a little bit more film on him. So again, as mock draft season comes a little bit closer, there's going to be more film that I watch. But really, with how, I don't want to say this bluntly, but with how bad the Eagles' linebacking core is, Devin Lloyd would definitely make a big impact on it. I mean, he flies around. He's a hard hitter. He's just a big play linebacker. So he would definitely help out the Eagles there. I'm going to have them take him. Then with their other pick, you know, they have a good offensive line, okay? Don't get me wrong. But they could, honestly, but their offensive line is a little bit older than we'd like. I mean, they've got Jason Kelce there. And just, it's getting a little bit older. So they're going to want to start replacing that soon. Now, whether that happens in the first round or later or even in free agency, I don't know. They could also take a wide receiver. I don't really see that happening since they've taken a wide receiver early on in the last two drafts. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually have them take. Let's see, I'm gonna have them take Ahmad Gardner. I actually have him as my number two corner in this class. Sorry, behind Derek Stingley. I will say, and I've mentioned before, Darius Slay, I truly believe may be the best corner in the NFL this year. I haven't seen any other corners shut down receivers the way he has. He's played just absolutely phenomenally. So having Ahmad Gardner on the other side, that defense could be nasty next year. So I think that's going to be an amazing pick for the Eagles. Then we have the Carolina Panthers. For everyone saying quarterback, their offensive line is absolutely terrible. Okay, no quarterback could survive behind that offensive line. I saw some PFF rankings for Sunday's game against the Dolphins for the Panthers offensive line, and I believe it was the worst overall PFF rankings I've ever seen. I want to say the best PFF ranking of that offensive line was Taylor Moton this last week, who in that game had, I want to say it was like a 49.6, which is absolutely terrible. The offensive line is, in my opinion, the worst in the league, so they've got to absolutely fix that. And I'll be honest, I believe their interior offensive line is a lot worse than their tackles. So I am going to take my favorite interior offensive line in the draft, and that is Tyler Linderbaum. I have watched a lot of his tape, and the dude can plow people over. Like, he has insane strength. He is only 6'3", 290. I know in the NFL you want your line to be a little bit bigger, but it's a little bit more acceptable for your center to be a little bit smaller. He could also play guard, and really I don't think he'd have too much issue putting on 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds at the NFL level. The dude is just a freak athlete. In fact, I actually saw this video. He actually wrestled Tristan Wirfs back in high school and pinned him like really quick. Like it wasn't even a close match. Just the dude is a freak athlete. I truly believe he can be an elite center or guard in the NFL. and that'll really help the Panthers' offensive line here. Then we have the Falcons. I feel like there's a few different ways the Falcons could go here as well. Again, if Matt Corral is still on the board, they could definitely go here. They could trade back, to be honest. If one of the top 3 edge rushers were still available, I would 100% say to go with one of them. I mean, the Falcons' pass rush is just terrible. I want to say they were 3rd or 4th worst in the league. Don't quote me on that. In sacks and pressures. So, there's not a good pass rush at all. Their secondary is struggling a little bit, but I feel like there's other areas that need more help. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually have the Atlanta Falcons take, I'm going to say DeMarvin Leal from Texas A&M. Again, Falcons fans, let me know what you think of that pick. I feel like there's plenty of ways they could go there. I mean, if they wanted to draft Sam Howell early, they could do that. They could honestly take a tackle in Charles Cross. They could take Khair Elam from Florida, the corner. There's a lot of different ways they could go. So Falcons fans, let me know what you think they should do. Then we have the Saints. Another kind of tough decision, to be honest. I mean, we don't know exactly what Jameis Winston will be long term. I think he'll be solid. I don't think this is the year to try to replace him in the draft. I say wait another year. I would honestly agree with their second need right here being wide receiver. And, you know, again, like I said in the beginning, I need to watch more wide receiver film to get more familiar with them. I do remember last year Justin Fields throwing to Chris Olave and remembering how really good he was. So I'm going to go ahead and trust their rankings here and have the Saints draft Chris Olave. Saints fans, let me know what you think of that. Let me know if you'd rather them take someone else. But yeah, I do believe the Saints truly need a wide receiver. Even if Michael Thomas can get healthy, I don't really see any great number 2 wide receiver there either. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. Then the Eagles are actually back on the clock with their 3rd pick already. And so they've taken a linebacker and a corner already. You know, I think here is kind of where you start to question, okay, do you want to reach on the next edge, which is David Ajabo? I don't think that's reaching too far, to be honest. I mean, you may be reaching a little bit. You may be able to trade back a couple spots to do this. Or, again, because the offensive line is getting a little bit older, you could get Kenyon Green. Now, I'll be honest here. Kenyon Green, so they list him as an interior offensive lineman. This last year, he's been playing left tackle. I'm not a fan of him at left tackle. Like, he's played pretty solid. I feel like he could still be like a fairly decent tackle, but he truly belongs at left guard, or he could play right guard as well, but he belongs on the interior offensive line. So if a team knows that when drafting him and are drafting him to be a guard, yeah, he could be one of the best interior offensive linemen in this draft. So you could definitely do that. You could take Charles Cross at left tackle. I'll be honest, I'm not a super big fan of Charles Cross. I feel like he he doesn't really wow me like some of these other offensive linemen do. He doesn't seem to have elite strength. Um, he has really good form. So if he can get stronger at the NFL level, he could be a lot better. So who knows? That could be something that I end up eating my words. But at least right now, I don't think he's really strong enough to be an NFL tackle. Um, I don't think he has a very good anchor. I've seen him get blown up quite a bit. So I don't really think he's a great left tackle. So I think with this pick, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Kenyon Green. Try to make that interior offensive line a little bit younger. Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are looking for a quarterback and an offensive tackle and interior line. Needs very similar to the Panthers, actually. There's a couple moves here you could do. I mean, again, you could trade back a little bit, try to get a quarterback. I'll be honest, I have Kenny Pickett as my quarterback too. I'm higher on him than Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder and Malik Willis. Again, with Malik Willis, I like his potential. I feel like if he can go to a system where he can sit for like 2-3 years, he can be really good. He needs time to grow. I don't think he's ready yet. So right now I'd have Kenny Pickett as my number 2. I wouldn't recommend taking him this early though. Like I said, nobody else really has a first round draft grade from me so far. I think this would be a solid position for the Steelers to take offensive tackle Charles Cross from Mississippi State. I know I just got through saying I'm not a fan of his strength, but he does have good form. Okay, I will say that he has good hand placement. Again, he just needs to work on his strength. If he can improve his strength, I feel like he'll do a lot better against some of the power rushers in the NFL, as well as be a better run blocker. Just right now, he's kind of just good at this point. Like, he doesn't show any traits that are great at this point. So, then we have the Denver Broncos. They definitely need a new quarterback. I feel like they'll very much be in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, so this could end up changing. They may not even have this pick, but until it happens, we're going to keep picking for the Broncos. I think I'm a little scared to have them take Malik Willis right here because, like I said, I don't think he's ready right now. And I feel like to a lot of people it's going to look like the Broncos made another mistake here when, I mean, you give him some time and he'll be good. I know he could sit behind Teddy Bridgewater for a while. I'm not sure how much patience the Broncos are going to have with that. I'd say Sam Howell may be a little bit more ready right now, but I don't like his potential. He's a lot like a Baker Mayfield for me. Like, he's not going to be a guy that absolutely wows you, but he'll be solid. But I don't think I really want that this early in the draft. So if I'm being completely honest here, if I'm the Broncos, I am either going all in for Deshaun Watson or trading back. But again, since we can't trade back, I think I'm actually going to have... You know what? I think I'll go ahead and have them take Malik Willis. Let him sit behind Teddy Bridgewater for a year. I know it's going to be hard for Broncos fans because they'll want to see him. But have him sit behind Teddy Bridgewater for a year, and he will be a good quarterback for the Broncos. So then we have the Raiders, who need help at about all levels on defense. I mean, their safeties are pretty solid. I do really like Denzel Perriman. They got an absolute steal when trading for the Panthers. They really need a corner after the whole Damon Arnett issue. So my main two guys I'm looking at right here are Jordan Davis and Kaiir Elam. Both of these guys would be an absolute steal right here, okay? Like, no matter which one of these guys the Raiders get, they'd be getting an absolute steal. I feel like the Raiders need interior D-line more than corner. This may be a situation that we'll have to just see what the Raiders do in free agency first to kind of make more of a plan here. But I'd say the Raiders could definitely use Jordan Davis more, so I'm going to go ahead and have them take Jordan Davis. Then we have the Browns, who, if I'm being honest, they need quarterback. I think quarterback's their biggest need right now. I know this says edge. Myles Garrett is a top 2 edge in the league. You know, other than TJ Watt, which he may be better than TJ Watt. I don't know. It's hard for me to decide there. Like, him and TJ are like 1A and 1B for best edges in the league. They could use interior D-line, so if the Raiders decide to go with Kaiir Elam instead, they could definitely take Jordan Davis right here. They could definitely go with a wide receiver. In fact, I think that's going to be the move. I love their offensive line. I really don't think they have much of a need at offensive line. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and have them take Garrett Wilson. Again, I'll watch more wide receiver film to see who I think matches whose system and just who I think are the better receivers. So again, take that with a grain of salt. Browns fans, also let me know who you guys would want in the comment section below. Then we have the Minnesota Vikings. You know, the Vikings, I feel like, could use some help on the interior offensive line. They could use some corner help. There's some good corners right here. They could. I mean, Kirk Cousins is solid. I mean, I don't think they have like a huge need to replace Kirk Cousins right now. So I don't think they need to look at that right now. So I'd say with what's on the board right now, I would say their best bet is to go with Kaiir Elam. He will instantly help that secondary. He will be a huge pickup for them. Then we have the Chargers. Now I agree with this. They do need an edge. They do need a tight end. I think they go with David Ojabo. I also have him as my number 4 edge in this class, so I do like their edge rankings. I do really like their edge rankings. I would say I'd put Drake Jackson above Myjai Sanders. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I would put Drake Jackson above him. I have him as my number 5 edge. But yeah, other than that, I really like their edge rankings. Just a little side note there. But yeah, for the Dolphins, they also could use some edge help. So, they kind of just took the next best edge. They could use some wide receiver help. But do they want to take a wide receiver in the first round 2 years in a row? I don't know. They could use some offensive tackle, or really just offensive line in general help. Let me see. I do really like Nicholas Petit-Frere. I have him higher than Trevor Penning, to be honest. They could definitely go there. Yeah, I don't really think any of these other interior linemen are like first round linemen, so take that for what it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and have them take Nicholas Petit-Frere. Yeah, I think he's the best tackle available right there. Again, Dolphins fans, let me know if you'd rather them take him or a wide receiver. At that point, that also wouldn't be a terrible point to trade back as well. So, there's that. Then we have the Buffalo Bills, who I would also agree need interior O-line and interior D-line, as well as, I don't think they really need a receiver super bad. They could use a corner, to be honest. Andrew Booth may be the pickup here. I really like Andrew Booth from Clemson. This is another solid corner class. Last year's corner class was incredible. I mean, you got J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Asante Samuel. A lot of really good corners. There's a lot of good corners in this year's class, too. I don't think it'd be a bad idea at all for them to take Andrew Booth. In fact, I think that's who the pick is going to be. I don't think there's any interior offensive linemen that are special enough to go in the first round beyond this point. So, yeah. Then the Lions. So they got their edge early on with Kayvon Thibodeau. They need a quarterback now. Now, there's a few guys you could pick between. So, like I said, I have Kenny Pickett as my quarterback 2. I think he's more ready than Desmond Ridder, and has a higher upside than Sam Howell. Out of these 3 guys, I'd say Sam Howell is the most ready, but has the lowest ceiling. I don't think he's going to be great in the NFL. And you kind of saw how that worked out with Baker Mayfield. I really think he's going to be another Baker Mayfield without, basically without Baker's attitude, if I'm being honest. So, I guess you decide, would you rather have, a solid quarterback that just doesn't turn over the ball a whole lot, that's kind of just good but not great? Would you rather have Desmond Ridder, who will be ready in like a year or two, that has higher playmaking ability and is mobile with his feet, or Kenny Pickett, who I feel like has the best arm out of these guys, isn't quite ready either, but again is just really solid right now. I feel like for Dan Campbell, I feel like Kenny Pickett matches them. I feel like Dan Campbell would really want a guy like Kenny Pickett. So, yeah, the Lions get their franchise quarterback. I know that was a little bit early. I know some guys don't have him quite that high. Again, like I said, he's my number 2 quarterback. So, yeah, we have the Lions taking him. Then we have the Bengals. Another tough decision, to be honest. I feel like either Jesse Bates or Von Bell will be gone after this year. I don't think they're going to keep either one of them. And they definitely don't need a quarterback or wide receiver right now. So let's go ahead and have them take Jaquan Brisker from Penn State. Then the Cowboys, they do definitely need edge help, but there's no good edges available until like mid-second round, I'd say. They could definitely use a new safety. They could use a new corner to go opposite of Trayvon Diggs. I think I'm going to go ahead and have them take Daxton Hill, the safety from Michigan, though they could honestly reach on Sanders right here. But yeah, let's go ahead and have them take Daxton Hill from Michigan. Cowboys fans, let me know who you want right there. Then the Chiefs, I don't really think they have a huge need for receiver because of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and they've got some speedy receivers too. Though the only other guys ranked right here, Nakobe Dean I actually have as a as a mid to late first round linebacker. I feel like he should actually be higher on these rankings. So they could definitely go with Nakobe Dean. If they want to take a chance on one of these receivers, they could. I just don't think it's a huge need right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and actually have them take Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Then the Titans here. They do also need a linebacker. They do need a tight end, corner. I would definitely agree with these rankings here, with what they need. Let me see what tackles are available. I'm not sure I would spend a first rounder on any of these guys, to be honest. Jackson Kirkland, I mean, he could be like an early to mid second rounder. May not be a guy you want to take quite this early. Daniel Falele, probably a back end second rounder. Zion Nelson, I think, is probably a little bit higher than this, to be honest. I'd say he's also probably like an early to mid second rounder. I don't think you want to take the chance on him quite yet. You know what? I think... No, because I have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, so they don't really have a big need for receiver. Yeah, at this point, they honestly may want to look at trading back. With the board right now, there's not a lot of guys I'm a fan of. I think we'll go ahead and actually have them take Drake Jackson out of USC. Really help that other edge opposite of Harold Landry. Then with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now I don't really see a big need anywhere for them. I mean, they could use help in their secondary, but their secondary is just beat up right now. Like, I don't think it's at all that they're not talented or anything. I mean, granted, it's not the best secondary in the league already, but it's more that their secondary is just injured right now. I don't think they're really that bad. So they could definitely look at quarterback right here, with Tom Brady potentially retiring in the next few years. But then again, he also said he wants to play till he's 50, and I don't see any signs of him slowing down. So that could honestly happen. I think let's go ahead. Let me look at the corners right now. I'd probably put Roger McCreary over these guys, to be honest. I like him better than Trent McDuffie and Martin Emerson. Yeah, I think we go Roger McCreary right here. I think corner would be their biggest need right now that, would help immediately. If they want, they could also go with, like, Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell and rest him for, well, not rest him, but sit him for a couple years behind Tom Brady. But they also have Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask might be solid in years to come. So I think you start thinking about the now right now and get Roger McCreary. Then for the Patriots, I think we look to get a new shiny weapon for Mac Jones, and I think, based off what I've heard, again, I need to watch more receiver film, so don't criticize me if this is the wrong receiver for you guys, but I think they go ahead and get Treylon Burks right here. Again, Patriots fans, let me know if there's a different receiver you'd rather have. But then the Packers right here, they could potentially go wide receiver as well. I think they go ahead and actually get Majai Sanders. Again, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I think they go ahead and go edge there. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go wide receiver. So then the Ravens at number 31 right now. It says they need an interior D-line and an edge and a corner. I would probably disagree with that. I think they need a receiver more. I feel like their D-line is pretty solid. They have a pretty solid pass rush. And, Marcus Peters is out for the season. They don't really need a corner. If he's healthy, their secondary is really good. So I don't think they really need a corner. So I think we're going to go ahead and have them take a receiver. We'll have them take Jahan Dotson. And then lastly, we have the Cardinals, who, need a corner and an edge. I know they have Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt right now, but both of them are getting older. Both of them are a little bit injury prone right now. We don't know how long they're going to last. Marcus Golden is filling in really nicely, though, for J.J. Watt. He's looked really good. I do definitely think they should take a look at corner right here. Though with how complete that team's getting, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a trade for like a big name corner. But I think they go ahead and take a look at Trent McDuffie right here. So those are my picks for the first round this year. Again, let me know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Again, there's so much more film I need to study, so I know there's going to be a lot that people disagree with here. So keep the comments friendly. Let me know who you want your team to draft. Let me know what players you're high on. Again, be sure to smash that like button, drop a sub. I'm only 12 subscribers away from 750, so if you guys could help me out with that, that'd be super cool. Again, be sure to subscribe for more draft content, for NFL news, and power rankings. So with that, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Later.